Okay. In our last class, we discussed about vitamin H and vitamin C. Okay. So today we will discuss about vitamin E. Okay. So vitamin E is also called as tocopherol, and it is a fat soluble. Okay. Vitamin E is also called as tocopherol, and it is a fat soluble one. If we are looking into the source, it is present in soya bean, it's also present in rice, it is also present in vegetable oils, eggs, butter, wheat germ oil. If we are looking into the deficiency effects, severe deficiency in infants may lead to high destruction of blood cells and hence anemia. This is about what is called as deficiency effects. So if we are writing anemia, more particularly in infants, may lead to high destruction of blood cells and hence it is anemia. So vitamin E is comprised of the group of naturally occurring tocopherols, more particularly alpha tocopherol, beta tocopherol, gamma tocopherol. So out of which the biological important one is called alpha tocopherol. Okay, let's give an entry. Okay, so vitamin E is comprised of a group of naturally occurring tocopherol. So group means alpha tocopherol, beta tocopherol, gamma tocopherol. But out of which the biologically important one is called alpha tocopherol. And here, what I am mentioning, it's about racemic mixture. So racemic mixture means maybe a plus form or maybe a minus. More particularly, equal. More what is called equal amount means 50 50 50 or 60 40 or 30 70. It's a racemic mixture one. And you can observe that this is called mm, pyran. Okay, six membered ring with oxygen is called pyran, and this is the benzene group. Benzopyran analog is called a tocopherol. Okay, usually you will have a questions on alpha tocopherol. So this is only the alpha tocopherol. Then let's look in how we can synthesize this alpha tocopherol, otherwise vitamin E. So let's look into the synthesis. So here I am taking, okay, let's give an entry. Okay, this is one reactant. So you can observe that hydroxy group is there. Here two methoxy and three methyl groups. So benzene is substituted with all the positions. So this hydroxy group, now this is an aryl alkyl alcohol. This group is aryl, this group is alkyl, and it is an alcohol. Aryl alkyl alcohol. So when it is treated with the brominating agent, PbR3 is a brominating agent. It converts a hydroxy group into bromo. So that means this moiety, when it is treated with phosphorus tribromide, it gives a bromo to this position. And this position, when bromo is there, then it's called aryl alkyl halide. Aryl alkyl halide, when it is treated with Grignard magnesium, The obtained one is a Grignard reagent. It's a organometallic compound. So CH2MgBr. CH2MgBr is a what is called as organometallic compound. So this organometallic compound, when it is treated with a long chain ketone, so this is a long chain one, and this is a ketone. This Grignard reagent selectively reacts at the carbonyl carbon, so forming an hydroxy group. Like, you know that Grignard reaction and reaction with ketones gives alcohol, more particularly a tertiary alcohol. A tertiary alcohol is obtained. So in the next step, is treated with HBr. So HBr is a reagent used to cleave the ether functional group. So what is ether? This is a phenyl group, this is a methyl group, and this is ether. Phenyl methyl ether. So let's give an entry. Okay. So phenyl methyl ether. So ethers can be cleaved by using HBr. So the lone pair present on the oxygen reacts with proton and thereby converting a O-methyl into OH. And methyl reacts with Br and going out as a methyl bromide. So here the methyl bromide is going out. Once there is a conversion of ether into alcohol, then the lone pair present on the oxygen can react with this carbon and this OH will go out. So that means there will be a liberation of water and forming a benzopyran derivative. This benzopyran derivative is called tocopherol, and the obtained one is a plus or minus means racemic mixture. So this can be separated. So separation means resolution. Resolution means on resolution to get a plus isomer or minus isomer. Okay, so here I am giving synthesis up to the racemic mixture. So this is about the synthesis of tocopherol. So a aryl alkyl alcohol is treated. It is treated with brominating agent. It converts hydroxy group into bromide. The obtained bromide is treated with magnesium to get a magnesium organometallic compound. This organometallic compound react with ketone, forming an alcohol, and ether is cleaved into a OH by using HBr. The OH undergoes cyclization. There will be a removal of water, forming a plus or minus tocopherol. So this is about the method of preparation of uh, vitamin E or alpha tocopherol. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Give you information about biological importance. Okay, biological importance of vitamin E or tocopherol. So one of the example of radical inhibitor. So one of the example of radical inhibitor that are present in biological system is vitamin E. Then what is its role? So that traps the radical formed in non-polar membranes. So that means I think you know that what we are inhaling oxygen. The fate of oxygen in the living system, it convert into a free radical, oxygen free radical. So that should be arrest. So otherwise what will happen? There will be a more number of free radical reactions in the living system. So living system contain aqueous region as well as the fat region. So in the aqueous region, a radical can be trapped by using a vitamin C. Vitamin C means ascorbic. So in the fat region, vitamin E will act as a antioxidant, and that will traps the radical formed in the fat region. That is about the application of vitamin E. So vitamin E is an important antioxidant. Antioxidant means it will stop the oxidation by free radical. That and thereby protects fatty acid chain. So you know that fatty acid is belongs to the fat layer one. Fatty acid is not belongs to the aqueous layer. It is belongs to the fat layer one from the degradation via oxidation. And here also you can observe that there are some who believe that vitamin E slows down the aging process. That means just by taking vitamin E and vitamin source and enzymes are working means one can slow down the aging process. So these 3 points are the biological importance of vitamin E. So what you can say that you can say that vitamin E it traps the radical formed in a non-polar membranes. Okay, and vitamin K is an oxidizing agent that protect the fatty acid chain from the degradation via oxidation. And there are some who believe that vitamin E slows down the aging process. These are the 3 points you can write as far as vitamin E or tocopherol is concerned. So with this, I will go to the next slide. So next slide will give you an information about vitamin K. Okay. So vitamin K is a water soluble one. Vitamin K, if you are looking to the source, it is present in leaf vegetable. And if we are looking at the deficiency effects, slow blood clot. So that means vitamin K is important for the blood clotting. Then here vitamin K means K1 and K2 are. Vitamin K1 was isolated by a scientist group called Dam et al. In 1933, and it is isolated from alpha alpha. And Dicey et al. In the same year, 1939, isolated vitamin K2, and it is isolated from the petrified fish meal. This is the structure of vitamin K1, and this is the structure of vitamin. And one more thing, I forget to mention the name here. So vitamin K is also called as phyloquinone. Vitamin E is called tocopherol. Vitamin K is called phyloquinone. So this is the one, quinone might, you know. You can also called as a, of course, the another name for vitamin K is called phyloquinone. You can also say that it's a naphthoquinone. So naphthoquinone vitamin K. Vitamin K are of two kinds, vitamin K1 and vitamin K2. So what is the difference between the vitamin K1 and vitamin K2? So only in the side chain. So here you can observe that a 20 carbon atom side chain. But here, this is the one is, you can observe more particularly this might isoprene unit. Okay. So nearly 20 isoprene unit, 20 means what you call 5 isoprene units are there. 5 isoprene units means this that means it is approximately 29 carbon atoms are there. So that means vitamin K1 is around 20 carbon containing side chain containing naphthoquinone, and vitamin K2 it's a 29 carbon. More particularly, isoprene units containing one is the vitamin K2, and this is the isolated from petrified fish meal, and vitamin K is isolated from alpha alpha. So this is about the structure effects. So now let's go to the synthesis of vitamin K1. How one can synthesize vitamin K1. So for that, the starting material, you know that this is the methyl group. This carbon is first. This is the second. 2 methyl, 1 comma 4. This is 1. This is 4. 1 comma 4. Naphthoquinol. Name of this compound is 2 methyl 1 comma 4 naphthoquinol. This reactant or starting material is treated with a long chain compound. Maybe you can also call it as a phytol group. So what will happen here? There will be a bond formation between this carbon and this carbon. So what is going out? So there is going out is water. So one proton from here and OH minus from here. So goes out as a water. And here this is COOH twice means oxalic acid. So here the oxalic acid role is dehydrating agent. It removes water from the two reactant, proton from here and OH from here. So when naphthoquinol and a phytol group is treated in presence of oxalic acid, there will be a dehydration by forming a compound like this. And then what is the difference between this and this? So this is a hydroquinone and this is a naphthoquinone. So what is happening from here to here? This is a reduced form. This is a oxidized form. So that means it is an silver oxide is an oxidizing agent. It oxidizes alcohol to uh, quinone. So an naphthoquinone is obtained, and this is only vitamin K1. So this is about the synthesis of vitamin K1. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Next slide will give you the information about vitamin K2 synthesis. This is synthesis of vitamin K2. So here the reactant, name of the reactant is 2-methyl naphthoquinone. So whereas in the previous one, we took the 2-methyl 1 comma 4 naphthoquinol. Okay, alcohol was taken, but here a quinone group is taken. And one more reactant is a long chain one. So what will happen here? There will be a new bond formation between this carbon and this carbon. So when there is a new bond formation between this carbon and this carbon, so what will happen? This bond pair is coming over here and this OH minus will go out. So this OH minus takes the proton from here and goes out as a dehydration. So removal of water, forming a vitamin K2. So this is about the synthesis of vitamin K2. Okay, this completes completes your vitamin chapter. So now tell me, do you have any doubt in synthesis or biological importance of vitamins? If there is no doubts means I will go for a question answer.
No, sir.
Any doubt? No. So just I
Sir,
will, yes, go ahead. Any vitamin synthesis or biological importance you want me to explain means I will do it.
no doubt, sir.
Okay. So I will just go to the question and answer. So what are the questions you can in this chapter? Uh, uh, so what is the structure of biotin? So you need to write the structure of biotin and mention its biological importance. So what is the biological importance of biotin? So biotin biological importance means it is a coenzyme required by the enzyme that catalyzes the carboxylation of the carbon adjacent to a carbonyl group. So how the acetyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl coenzyme A. So that you can give an example. Then give the synthesis of thymine. Okay, how the thymine is obtained. Thymine is synthesized. It is asked in 2008. So give the synthesis of riboflavin. Okay, I think this
Sir,
is also a multi. Yes.
should we write explanation of the reaction?
I explain it. That's what say in as per the Bangalore University, if you are writing the scheme, synthetic scheme, that is more than enough to get a marks. So if you are not able to write the scheme, suppose there are questions. Normally, in organic chemistry, if you are able to explain in terms of structure, that itself is more than sufficient. So explanation that is for students to understand the scheme. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So organic chemistry means you should be able to write in most of the case. Only in some cases you have to explain it in terms of words. So word explanation is for the student to understand clearly the scheme. So long back itself in the Bangalore University decided, okay, have a clarity on that. If any student is writing schemes without explanation itself, they will give full marks. It's a long back decision, not now. Suppose if you are not able to write the scheme, in such cases you can explain it in terms of words. You may get a little marks based on the valuer, but you will get certain marks because you are writing in terms of words. No, that is the reason. But it's better you have to practice. So how you can practice? You have to remember the starting material and product. So just by looking into the starting material and product, you should be able to write the complete sequence. And some of the things, maybe what I would like to suggest means you make a your own handwritten notes. That is one thing. So from that you make it as a condensed notes. From that you make it as a very short notes. Just by looking into the condensed notes, you should be able to recall the complete notes. Just by looking into the very short note, you should be able to recall the complete paper. So in that way, you have to be prepared when there is a near to your examinations. So what I mean to say that in a 3 hour or 2 hour, you should be able to recall complete paper. In such a way, you have to prepare to get a more marks, more particularly in the theory. Okay, if you want to get a more marks in the theory, you should be perfect. Practice makes perfect. So since it is a chemistry one, and since it is a organic chemistry, it is advised to review as and when. Review is required. Okay. Anyway, maybe. Uh, yeah, these are the things you need to remember. So take a papers, buff sheets, write it as and when if you have a time. And if you are struggling anywhere in between, then that time you just look into the notes and continue. So that way practice is required for organic chemistry. Okay, for the theory part, you can read. Uh, there is no issue. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So synthesis means you have to uh, write the structures or the scheme. So there, if you are explaining in terms of words means, you may get less marks. That's what my feeling. So give the synthesis of thymine means you have to write the structures. You have to write, mention the scheme. If you are not able to do that means, if you are writing in terms of words, you may get less mark compared to the
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. It's not audible.
other. Okay. So in this vitamin chapter, you will get a two types of question. So one questions based on the synthesis. Another kind is questions based on the biological importance. So sometimes they will ask you can you combine B2? So sometimes they will combine both the things. So that question maybe carries 5 marks question. So in such cases, you have to explain the synthesis as well as the biological importance. Then give the synthesis and biological. So look here, give the synthesis and biological importance of pyridoxine. So pyridoxine means a pyridine basic structure containing one. So how this is synthesized. So that you have to explain. And also you have to explain about the biological importance. So biological importance of pyridoxine means uh, pyridoxal phosphate is the coenzyme required by the enzymes that catalyzes the certain transformations. Maybe a decarboxylation, transamination, eliminations. Okay, all these things you can mention. With respect to the biological importance, you can write it in terms of words. But the synthesis, try to, you can practice both in terms of words as scheme. If you are finding a difficulty in the writing scheme, at least you can write the words. But It depends on the valuer. Okay, again, valuer give preference to the structures. Okay, not the words. That's what I am aware. So with this, I will go to the next questions. Outline the total synthesis of vitamin A uh, through Euler method. Okay. So whatever I have given the synthetic method for the preparation of vitamin A is Euler method only. Here you can make S as a silent, and it is asked in 2009. Outline the synthesis of alpha tocopherol. So just now I discussed to what is called 1, 4 2 methyl uh, uh, naphthol, okay, treated with a long chain ketone. So that will give you tocopherol. Then outline the synthesis of thymine. Okay, so it is found that the in many times thymine questions on vitamin B2 is repeated. So more particularly the thymine. And outline the synthesis of vitamin H. Vitamin H means biotin. How the biotin is synthesized. Write the biological importance of vitamin B1. So what is B1? B1 is nothing but a thymine only. So give the synthesis of pyridoxine. So pyridoxine means vitamin B6. So then again outline the synthesis of biotin. It's again 4 marks question. And I will also discuss about few more questions. What is the biological importance of vitamin A1? So the vision, okay, biological importance of vitamin A1 means you have to write the vision mechanism. So I think you know that our retina of the eye contains rod cells and cone cells. So cone cells are responsible for the vision in uh, color or bright light. Rod cells are responsible vision in dim light. So in rod cells, vitamin A uh, means a alcohol group is oxidized to aldehyde, and the 11th double bond is converted into cis. At this stage, protein hopsin binds with by using a side chain, lysine part of the side chain, and the obtained one is called rhodopsin, and it is a activated one. And when this is absorbed by light, it this molecular changes in geometry sent a message to brain. There will be a pursuit of visual. And later stage hydrolysis of release of opsin and converting back into a 11E to 11Z. This is how the vision cycle continues. So what is called biological importance, you can write it in terms of words. Give one synthesis of vitamin A2. So A2 means only the difference in double bond. Okay. In A2 there will be a one more double bond. So that is the difference. Make it out. So synthesis A1 synthesis, A2 synthesis is different, but A2 in the first itself you can create a one more double bond in a 6-membered ring. That's you need to do it. Then write a note on vitamin K1 and K2. So maybe the difference in side chain. So here a 20 carbon atom, but in K2 there is a isoprene units, 5 times isoprene, 29 carbon atom content. That you difference you can mention, and their isolation. Okay, K1 is isolated from alpha alpha, K2 is isolated from petrified fish meal. And you can also mention the biological importance, and those who are familiar with the synthesis, that also you mention it, since it is a 5 marks question. What is the biological importance of vitamin B6? B6 means, again, it is a pyridoxal. So pyridoxal phosphate is a coenzyme required by the enzyme that catalyzes the transformations of certain transformations of amination, uh, racemization, decarboxylation. You can also give an example also. Then biotin. So biotin is the enzyme. Biotin is the coenzyme required by the enzyme that catalyzes the carboxylation of the carbon adjacent to the carbonyl group. So that is how acetyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl coenzyme A, that you can mention. Sketch the synthesis of biological importance of riboflavin. So riboflavin means it is the one what you call uh, in living system, flavin FMN, flavin mononucleotide, and FAD, flavin dinucleotide. It is the coenzyme required by the enzyme that are involved in a direct oxidation reduction process. Okay. So for example, alcohol is gets converted into aldehyde, so that you can dehydration. So you can mention about the biological importance of riboflavin. Then sketch the synthesis of vitamin C. Vitamin C, it is an ascorbic acid. So you have to, I think you are familiar with the carbohydrate, no? You have to take the vitamin A inverted version. So inverted version, and that is on oxidation, more particularly reduction. CHO is converted into CH2OH, then it's called sorbitol. Sorbitol is subjected to acetobacter suboxidase. So what it will do, it will convert a secondary carbon into a ketone, and then the open chain structure is converted into ring strain, and the protection of hydroxy groups, and then leaving behind one CH2OH. That CH2OH is oxidized, converted into carboxylic acid, and then opening of the ring structure, and again removal of water forming a double bond, and then cyclization. So that structure you need to write. Then predict the biological importance of vitamin A. It's a tocopherol. So you know that vitamin A is acts as an antioxidant. It traps the radical formed in lipid layer. Thereby, it inhibits the oxidation of fatty acid, and it is believed that this vitamin slows down the aging process. And outline the synthesis of biotin. Synthesis you have to write. So by taking a five-membered ketone, so that you have to write it. Explain the important biological functions of vitamin B6. So that I already explained about. It's a pyridoxal phosphate. Outline the synthesis of vitamin A1. So that means how the beta ion is converted into vitamin A, that you have to write. Then sketch the synthesis of riboflavin. So riboflavin means it's a flavin group. I think the ribose moiety and the flavin group. Okay, that synthesis you have to mention. Then explain how the pyridoxine is converted into pyridoxal and pyridoxamine. So this also I have given. So how the pyridoxine is converted into pyridoxal. So pyridoxine to pyridoxal, it's only the controlled oxidation of one of the CH2OH into CHO. So CHO, when it is treated with oxime and then reduction, gives pyridoxamine. So pyridoxamine directly converted into pyridoxine by the diazotization. This explanation also I have given. So this is about the what is called as vitamins. So now tell me if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will repeat that particular vitamin. Otherwise, what you can, if there is no doubt, means I will go for a one more chapter in my next class. Do you have any doubt in the vitamin chapter? And
No, sir.
this notes I will send it maybe very shortly. I will send these notes. Okay. If there are no doubts, means uh, you can log out. Maybe I will stop.